You know how every time a new LLM drops, we expect it to be smarter and more accurate? Turns out that's not always the case, especially when it comes to hallucinations, or in other words, the tendency of LLMs to generate false or fabricated content when they don't have sufficient information. Apparently, the newer models are actually hallucinating more than some of the older chat models. One popular theory suggests that these hallucinations are happening more because newer models are trained on content increasingly generated by other AIs. In other words, AI is learning from AI, and people are arguing that this recursive loop might be the reason for rising hallucinations. Basically, the classic garbage in, garbage out. This reasoning makes sense, right? Well, not really. Here's where it gets interesting. Training on synthetic or artificially generated data isn't actually new. In fact, it's been in the training process of older models, and it's even proven useful. DeepSeek, for example, built their reasoning models using this exact same method. So, if previous models handled synthetic or AI generated content just fine without spiraling into hallucinations, it's unlikely that the synthetic data alone is the root cause of increased hallucinations in newer models, right? The reality is far more nuanced, and a recent study by Anthropic revealed that hallucinations can stem from internal architectural flaws and models' internal decision making process, not just from the training data itself. So, let's dive deeper and explore what Anthropic's research reveals about hallucinations. Also, moving forward in the video, though I'll be referring to Claude most of the time, like Anthropic's model, feel free to consider the observations and findings relevant for most large language models. Okay, as we all know, LLMs are trained to predict the next word in a sequence based on the content provided, right? Because of this training objective, these models are incentivized to always generate output even when uncertain. So, first, let's understand the built in mechanisms that LLMs have to avoid hallucinations, and then we'll see how or why these hallucinations are increasing in newer models. Anthropic's research revealed that Claude has a specific circuit called the refusal circuit. This circuit, as the name itself suggests, triggers Claude to respond with a refusal when faced with a question it cannot confidently answer. I think I made it complicated. For example, if asked about an unknown person like Michael Batkin, Claude's default response would be something like, "Hey, I don't have enough information to answer that question." This behavior is intentional because LLMs are trained to avoid guessing or making things up. The research also suggests that this refusal circuit is on by default, meaning it's always there checking whether Claude knows enough before providing an answer. If the refusal circuit is the gatekeeper, then when exactly are hallucinations happening? Whenever the circuit is being overridden or suppressed, right? So let's see the specific conditions under which the circuit suppression happens. For that, we need to know something called the known entity feature of LLMs. I know I'm dumping a lot, but just bear with me for a few minutes. So let's talk about the known entity feature of LLMs. So this is a type of feature that activates when LLMs recognize a concept, person, thing, or a place it has been trained on and believes that it has sufficient information about. For example, when the model encounters the name Michael Jordan in the prompt, the feature, this known entity feature, is activated to indicate that LLM has relevant knowledge about this entity. Like, he's a famous basketball player, cultural icon, or other associated details. However, hallucinations can arise in scenarios where this known entity feature that I was talking about is incorrectly activated for an unfamiliar or partially recognized input. To understand this, let's take Michael Batkin, the unknown guy, again for example. If the LLM's pattern recognition mistakenly interprets Batkin as similar to Jordan, then the known entity feature can still fire. And when the known entity feature is activated, it inhibits the refusal circuit, compelling the LLM to generate a response rather than refusing. So the model then proceeds to give convincing narratives for an unknown question, leading to hallucinations. So, to summarize everything, when the user's question contains ambiguous or partially recognized input like Michael Batkin, it tricks the model into activating the known entity feature, leading to the suppression of the refusal circuit. This is one scenario where the model hallucinates. The second scenario where models typically hallucinate occurs when users provide incorrect hints or biases in their prompts. Apparently, when Claude was given an incorrect hint for a math problem, researchers found that the model suppressed its refusal circuit and started fabricating a possible chain of reasoning so that it can justify or align with the hint given by the user. Now that we know when models hallucinate, let's see four main reasons why these hallucinations are increasing in newer models. Number one, older models had fewer parameters and less training data, because of which they were not able to recognize a wide range of known entities or contexts. On the other hand, newer models having billions or trillions of parameters and large training data sets enable them to recognize and extrapolate across a vast variety of topics. More data and parameters mean more opportunities for misfire, right? Where the known entity feature can get activated by mistake and that can override the refusal mechanism, leading to hallucinations. The second reason why hallucinations could be increasing in newer models is because of aggressive fine tuning techniques like reinforcement learning from human feedback. So during RLHF, as you might know, the model gets rewarded for sounding confident, helpful, and fluent, right? Because of this, it's possible that the model might learn that saying I don't know or refusing to answer might make the users unhappy or frustrated. So the model's refusal circuit, which normally tells it to say, I don't know, I'm not sure of the answer when it lacks information, gets weakened. Instead of refusing, the model tries harder and harder to give some answer, even when it means guessing or making things up. Number three, newer models are also really good at spotting patterns. They use advanced technologies to analyze input, find connections in their training data, and generate responses even for questions they don't fully understand. This is not bad. Instead, this makes the models incredibly versatile. For example, if you ask a vague or incomplete question, the model can often fill in the blanks by inferring what you might mean based on the patterns it's seen before. But this strength is also a weakness. Sometimes the model gets too confident in its pattern recognition that it might think it found a match for a known entity when in reality it hasn't. And this actually leads to hallucinations. Number four, as newer models get launched, developers face pressure to maximize performance. Example, answering more questions, handling niche topics, so on and so forth. This can lead to relaxed safety constraints where the refusal circuits are less stringent, allowing the model to attempt more responses despite not having enough information. So, in conclusion, hallucinations remain one of the most stubborn and unresolved challenges in the field of AI, affecting even the most capable models. So it's important that we shift the focus from blaming external factors like synthetic data to addressing architectural flaws, paving the way for more transparent and trustworthy AI system. That is it for this video. If there's anything that you want me to cover in my next video, comment it down, and see you in the next one. Bye.